What's up guys, I'm Harsimran here from ECAL, and today we're actually going to be talking about the biggest Tesla killer, or not just Tesla killer, just a killer for EVs, and that is just one word: tradition. Why do I say tradition is the killer for EVs? Well, people don't like to change. They like change, but they don't like to change. With EVs, you have to change your mindset. You have to have a shift in your mindset. You can't start thinking about, oh, I have to go somewhere to charge my car, because no, you can do it at home. And if you live in an apartment, unless you drive way too much, you can live with an EV, charge up like a level 2 charger at a mall every weekend, and that'll be enough, even in an apartment. You could probably easily last a week using the Model 3 long range. Chances are you might want the long range anyways, but yeah, you can easily last a week with that. So why is tradition the killer? Like I said, people don't like change. So when you tell them, you can charge at home and you get these many miles of range or kilometers of range, and they're like, but my gas car has this much. It's like, yes, but that's from the gas station. That's not from your house. Whereas this is from your house. Okay, and chances are most people won't even get it until they get an EV. They'll be like, oh, now it makes sense. But after getting the EV of their choice. And now another thing is that EVs are so much safer, but they use the exact same standard as everyone else, like the NHTSA, or what other standards are there? There's NHTSA and the Euro NCAP, right? That's the ones that I know. Comment down below if there are any others that I missed. But yeah, those two standards, they basically classify Teslas as the highest rating possible, along with so many other vehicles. Like, Teslas are literally the safest vehicles. They should have like a 7-star rating instead of a 5-star. And every other car should just have a 5-star. Honestly speaking, there should be like a new class of safety regulation rating, because Teslas are so damn safe now. So when people always argue, well, electric cars don't have the range that I need for that one trip you're gonna take in an entire year, and you're gonna go, what, 100 miles in that entire trip one way? And you need a 400-mile car? Come on, man, you don't even go that far, ever, for that matter. How many times do you actually drive over 200 to 300 kilometers a day, or even over 200 miles a day? Come on, almost never. Pretty much once, maybe twice a year. And for those times, you can charge at those really fast superchargers or public chargers for those times. That's why you have to do a bit of your research, which car to get. If you get a Tesla, you don't have to worry. If you get another car, you have to plan out your charging spots and see which chargers are actually gonna be on your route. I'm gonna take my example, right? We generally don't go on really long road trips. The longest road trip we ever went as a family was from Toronto all the way to Vancouver in our car. Yes, but that was about 5 years ago. Back then, EVs they basically didn't exist, right? In a way, they basically didn't exist. Yes, there was a Model S. Yes, there was a Leaf, but you couldn't really get it cross country. Now you can. And that was the longest trip we took. Total, I think 10,000 plus kilometers. Now the trip we always take is going from Toronto to New York City. That we take pretty much every year, or even sometimes twice a year. Based on that, I know if I have a Tesla, I can make it. If I have a car with over 300 kilometers of range, I can make it, because I know where the chargers are. I know that there's enough chargers and working chargers that I can easily make it there without pretty much any issue at all. Lower range EV than that, yes, I agree, I will struggle. But 200 miles, 300 kilometers, I'm gonna argue that's quite a lot. That's actually quite a bit amount. Most EVs coming out today have much more than that. Even the Leaf, the shittiest EV out there, has like 250 miles. The lowest range Tesla has 250 miles of range. The lowest. The highest has almost 400. I don't think I have to worry if I get a Tesla. I agree there are EVs haven't solved every problem, and they're not for everyone, but they're for 95% of the population. You got cars, you got SUVs, and now you're getting pickup trucks that are coming out, those 3 biggest segments with EVs. So you pretty much don't have to buy a gas car pretty much ever, especially if you're buying new. I would never buy a new car unless it's an EV, because we're going through a change. And in that change, I greatly fear that the depreciation on a normal car would increase exponentially. Previously, the depreciation after 3 years on a $50,000 car was only about 20K. Now it could be 30 to 40K, just because EVs are becoming the mainstream thing. And then you could probably get really cheap gas cars, because no one wants them. Regulations are gonna pretty much ban them eventually. Pretty much there's gonna be no point in owning one. So buying a new gas car today is already a bad investment. Buying a new car anyways is a bad investment. And EVs, because they're gonna be more abundant, they're just gonna get either better resale value or it'll slightly drop because of how many they're actually gonna be coming out. But chances are, because every company we see battery shortages, they're not gonna depreciate as much as the gas guzzlers. Now, another thing that you have to change when you have an EV is basically you have to think of it as a phone. You have to use it like a phone. You don't treat your phone like a car, do you? You don't like power it on every day, and you don't just wait for it to like warm up, for the fluids to go back. You just use it, go, done, put it out, and you're done. And then if you need a charge, you plug in at night, and then in the morning, it's a full charge. Woohoo! And that's the issue we're having with gas cars. Gas cars, you have to go to a place. Imagine if you took your phone and every day, or say if they had a big enough battery, every week or so, you had to go to a place, a specific place to charge, and you couldn't do it at home. Imagine how inconvenient that would be. That's like the same thing with electric cars. Now, I agree the fast charging networks aren't really there yet, so you can't do long road trips. Out of that one time you're gonna do it in the entire year, but for all the other days of 360, 4 days in the year, this year it's gonna be 365 because it's a leap year. Except for that one day, all the other days you can pretty much use an EV like you would pretty much your phone, and it's much more convenient. You just drive straight home, you don't have to detour and go on a different route. I remember we were going to Ontario Science Center the other day, about a couple weeks back. You know what happened? We needed fuel. So what did we do? It took us an extra 15 minutes to get fuel. If you had to stop with an EV, it would have just taken 15 minutes for that stop alone. But no, we had to go detour, which means not taking the highway, getting fuel, and then filling up, and then getting on the highway, and then actually going, instead of just as soon as you leave the house, get on the highway and just go. Would have saved us 15 to 20 minutes. That's a lot, and Ontario Science Center isn't far. It's like, from my house, it's about 60 kilometers away. And that's not far. So that's why when people argue about EVs, any EV can do that trip. They're not far trips, and those are weekend trips that you take. Now, me personally, if I get a car, I'm gonna get an EV, and I know I'll be driving like hell. I'll be driving everywhere. Literally everywhere with that car. I will not stop driving. I will drive a lot. I'll put probably 40 to 50,000 kilometers on it a year. I will try to aim for 100,000, but at least that much, because I'll be going back and forth across the country everywhere. Because, you know, if you have a Tesla, you can just use camp mode, sleep in the back, don't pay for a hotel. Charging is pretty cheap. Across country, it's not inconvenient, and it's so much fun because you can play games, have fun, watch Netflix before you go to sleep. I don't know. So the biggest killer for EVs is not other cars, it's not gas cars, it's not hybrids, not plug-in hybrids. It's tradition. Tradition is gonna be the true killer. People don't want to change. Some people actually don't like change anyways. That's why I see all these like people talking about, oh no, electric cars are this and that. And you see all these news articles, you know, putting up bullshit like, oh, batteries pollute more. Oh, where are you getting your energy from? Oh my gosh, this shit. Let me tell you, within the first 6 months of owning an electric car, you've already polluted less than the equivalent of any gas car you would ever buy. Whether it's a supercar, actually, especially if it's a supercar and SUV, or if it's just your standard, even like compared to hybrids, for example. Now, I'm going to be talking about that in another video. By the way, just like a sort of like a teaser for that video. Did you know they use cobalt in refining oil? And you're complaining about cobalt in a battery? Come on! Don't be like that. Don't look at news articles, read the title, read a bit of the article and be like, oh, EVs are bad. Don't do that. Do your proper research and actually learn. And then we can have an argument. And then we can sit down and talk about what's happening, what's affecting our environment, what are we gonna do about it and whatnot. And then I will listen to you. Until then, please do your research. I'm even willing to help you out here if, you know, you just do some of your research and you don't actually just believe everything the news puts out, because, you know, news is completely biased. They just want clicks. That's all they're going for. And that's basically, these 3 topics are whole separate videos. So comment down below if you want to see them, and I'll probably see if I can find time to make them. So until then, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. And I don't know why whenever I make a video, I just start going on rants, because, you know, this is a controversial topic, controversial channel in several ways. So yeah, it'll be amazing. So we'll see you tomorrow. Okay? Peace. I don't know why I said we. It's only me anyways. Bye.